Hey guys, welcome back to the High Ground Podcast. I'm Lolo Padawan, and this is my partner, the apprentice Chris.
Hello there.
And we're bringing something a little bit different to you today. Normally we have full-length episodes that we go through, and we try to bring a little bit of knowledge and experience that we have to you guys, or just talk about something that's fun to us. And today we're going to touch a little bit on an episode that we've already had called the Lightsaber Buyer's Guide to the Galaxy. So in that episode, we went over a lot of detail, and we understand that, not everyone can spend 45 minutes parsing through that. And we think that the community can be served really well by an abbreviated version of that. So today we want to go through two parts to the buying process. We want to talk about what you as a buyer has as a responsibility, and then where you can take that responsibility once you've understood every part that you need to do, and where you move that forward and how you shop. So Chris, man, tell me, you excited for this?
Yeah, I'm super excited.
All right. Well, hey, let's just get started then. Tell me, what's the most important thing do you think that a buyer needs to know when they get ready to get started?
Honestly, probably budget, I would say, to be honest with you.
Well said. Well done. Yeah, that's great. And with budget-wise, why is budget, do you think, one of the most important parts of the buyer's responsibility?
I would say, to be honest with you, it has to do with the quality of what you're going to get. It's going to range from anywhere from, you want to spend a couple $100, maybe you want to spend $500 to $1,000. That really could dictate how far your money's going to go, especially in this community.
Yeah. So with lightsabers, budget, man, you got to know how much you can spend. That's the first, I think, most probably important part of it, but it's one of the few that are part. I would say that once you know like your budget, and you could come up with that before or after, you think about these other parts, but I like to know what I want out of the saber that I'm hunting, right?
Exactly.
If I'm hunting in episode 4 Kenobi, am I hunting it because I want to put a blade in it and I want to cosplay? Do I want to spin it and make it go fast and whooshy sounds and clicky clash and all that other good stuff? Or do I want something that looks really remarkable and beautiful and old and vintage like that's sitting up on a shelf? Do I want something that's a showpiece? Do I want something that's just for fun? Or even a combination, because that's a possibility too. But I think it's important to know, what you're looking to get out of the lightsaber that you buy. So that will also affect, a little bit about how much you spend and where you shop as well. What else do you think is important?
How important is accuracy to you? Do you want something that's exactly like these people worked meticulously making this saber, screen matching parts, found where this part was made, did their best to replicate it? Or do you want functionality, really? Sometimes at the expense of each situation, you can gain more functionality, or you can gain more accuracy at the cost of the other. Sometimes you can make both work, but that's exactly a huge part of it.
And sometimes you can get neither.
Yeah.
And that might matter with your budget. Like if your budget's $150, you might get minimal functionality and minimal accuracy.
Yes.
Or, I throw this last one in. I think we both and a lot of folks in Discord like to help people that pop in and go, hey, is this company good or is this company bad? I'm like, hey, before you do any of that. And one of the things I like to ask is like, what previous experience do you have with lightsabers? Because if you have quite a few that are installed now, that'll help you determine, well, do you want more features out of the boards that you got? Do you want less features out of the boards you got? Do you even want installed versus installed, what we just talked about? And then did you like how this particular saber performed? Like, for example, having a KR Graflex or a Roman's Graflex, like, do you like spinning those? Did that experience feel good to you? Or do you want something that's more sleek that you can do choreography and acrobatics and stuff with? Like those kind of things, like your experience with that'll help, because, we'll get into the shops and stuff next. But if you tell me that, I got a Graflex and I'm trying to spin it, or I've got an episode 3 Anakin, I'm trying to spin it and it kills my palms, then maybe a saber trio or something is more along the lines, or an older Electrum or something like that that's sleek and thin, that helps you do that kind of stuff. So I feel like those are real important questions, and I think that you can break out all of them into a bigger pile of questions, of course, and we tend to do that. But budget, what do you want out of the lightsabers? Static, FX, dueling, a combination of those. And then of course you would prioritize which ones are more important to you. How important, the accuracy versus functionality might be to you, because the higher degree in accuracy you get, more likely the more time the maker spent on researching and developing, and also hounding their machine shop to get every detail right. That costs money. So that means the sabers cost more. And then, what is your previous experience and what does that tell you about the type of lightsaber you might have going forward? So that's your responsibility that I see as the buyer. That's our quick 5-minute Reader's Digest on that.
Exactly.
Okay. So outside of that, the next step is how and where do you shop? And when we did the buyer's guide, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we largely steered away from the negative side of the shopping hobby.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'd rather just provide more of like a concise, straight to the point type of thing with no negativity, to be honest with you. Just this is where you could buy this. This is in your price range, what you're looking for. Everything that we just talked about is taken into accountability for that.
I'll take this and I'll just basically say, okay, the first thing that you're going to hear about, and you'll see a lot of people in the community when you ask about these companies and stuff, you're going to see ads on TikTok, on Facebook, on Snapchat, on Instagram. You're going to see them all over the place. I mean, over the holiday season, I can tell you that as I was trying to keep up with my family during the holidays, I couldn't scroll past 2 posts without coming across a lightsaber ad from one of these companies are propped up by 2 Chinese makers. And so we're talking about companies that are something X lightsabers or Neo sabers or new sabers or Stab Neo or Theory sabers or In Theory sabers or theoretically you might get a lightsaber sabers or the Saber Company or whatever kind of crazy names are coming up with all the time. And there's a new set, like half dozen new ones each month, right? The reason there's a bunch of new ones is because these 2 main Chinese makers, and they're LGT / Nexus and TXQ, and those 2 groups, they make overwhelming the majority of the lightsabers that people are buying today, mostly because of the ads that we're talking about that they push out through the social media channels. And then what happens is these companies that are just basically a website vendor with various names all sell 98-99% the exact same lightsabers for each one. Some will sell you both, and they have different models and different levels and stuff, but at the end of the day, those companies, those website vendors, those website dealers, their whole job is to pretend that they are an independent store, an independent company that's operating completely opposite or separate from other entities. But the truth is, behind the scenes, all these companies are colluding. There are price minimums that are set up by TXQ and by LGT, both on the LGT side and the TXQ side. They also will rename the type of electronics that these companies use so that you can't recognize that it's a TXQ or an LGT. And that is, to me, that's very deceitful. That kind of behavior is not okay. You're not telling the people what the origin of the product is and not allowing them to be able to tell where it comes from. That they rename the lightsabers themselves too, because one company doesn't want to sell it as Youngling Killer and then the next person sells it as Mini Jedi Killer, right? They want to do that so that you can't tell the difference, that they're the exact same saber and that there's a difference between them. But in reality, they are the exact same saber made by the exact same people, installed by the exact same people. The only difference is the website that you click buy on. And then that's where it really gets you. They basically take 300 to 200% markup on everything that they sell pretty much across the board. So that means a saber that is wholesale from these guys that you could really get it for maybe 100 to 120 bucks from a Chinese vendor that's selling the same saber, they're going to be charging you $450, $500 for it over here when you click on the website. Because why? You don't know where to go and you don't know how to get it for that cheaper price. And that's the other thing we want to bring to you about this one. So AliExpress, Chris, tell them about how Ali works for these 2 makers.
So via AliExpress, you can essentially you can buy directly from the company making it at a fair price for what the saber is.
AliExpress acts like Amazon. So if any of you guys have ever bought from Amazon, AliExpress is Chinese Amazon. They back up your purchases for 90 days. And again, this isn't an infomercial. No one from AliExpress reached out to us and said, hey, will you guys promote us? Nope. Like AliExpress gives you 90-day free returns. They're often going to give you $50 to $100 coupons, depending on how much you're spending. They're great coupons. And so when you're buying a lightsaber that costs $700 at Theory Sabers, you could get the same saber listed for $320 on AliExpress with an $80 coupon. Because if you are not buying from one of the other merchants and makers that we're going to name next and we're going to talk about next, you should always be going to AliExpress, seeing if you can price match. And if you don't know where, go to Reddit Lightsabers, go to Reddit Discord, go on to Facebook Lightsaber Market, ask the question, hey, I found this lightsaber here. Is this same lightsaber cheaper somewhere else? And I guarantee you, if you found an ad and clicked on that company's ad and you found a saber on their website, we're going to find it for you probably half price or less.
If you want to go from AliExpress, the next point, honestly, would be looking into stuff like probably Elf, 89 Sabers, like right around there would be the next step up, I would say.
Yeah, I think POC Store, who does not have an AliExpress storefront, by the way, don't buy Ultimate Works or POC Store on AliExpress because that's not their storefront and they don't give permission for that. 89 Sabers and Elf Sabers, you can find their stuff on AliExpress. It's a good place to price match. You can find their stuff on their great price, but then there are also some resellers throughout the U.S. that do sell their products. But for Elf, primarily you're going to find Elf with KR Sabers in the Saber Armory, who is a high-end maker, high-end accuracy maker, but he also works directly with Elf and helps design some of their lightsabers. And I think there's some relationship stuff that goes on beyond that too. So that's one thing straight up is 89 and Elf. Very good places to get their stuff. Many different sellers on AliExpress, but you can also grab their stuff. 89 Sabers has their own website now. So if you want a mid-grade, mid-tier product from them, definitely it's a good place to go. 89 Sabers website, AliExpress, price match, always price match for all of these. Also, I guess we should probably toss in Corbanth. They're kind of like a Walmart or a Target where they sell everybody else's stuff.
If I may interject, I would say they're more like Costco. You know, you'd go to taste the
That's
vodka
better.
and
Yeah.
It's actually like, you're like, oh, wow, this really tastes like this vodka. And it turns out it's literally the same vodka, just repackaged as Kirkland.
Much better point.
And that's being nice.
It is being nice. And I mean, sometimes that's a good thing and sometimes that's a bad thing. At the end of the day, yeah, it is a little confusing from a brand perspective. I don't definitely feel too comfortable with it. I got a few myself that came in a Corbanth box that were made by 89 Sabers and is an 89 Sabers offered and advertised saber, but it came in a Corbanth box. And so that was a little frustrating, I think, because there's no real need to confuse me. Like if I already went to your store, I know where I bought it from. I'll come back and buy from you again if I have a good experience. Yeah.
The biggest thing I'll tell everybody is a lot of companies will not tell you who the maker is. If you do not see them state who the maker is, you should be wary of that site.
Yep.
And that's
Absolutely.
it. No other info on it, no nothing. Just if they do not tell you who the manufacturer is, stay away.
Yeah, and I mean, if you don't know too, like don't hesitate to email them, ask them, and if they won't tell you, then that should tell you where to put your business.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say the next group would probably a million companies. And so this is not an endless list, but we're talking about Roman props, KR Sabers, Shadowfall props. We're talking about, oh goodness, help me out. Watto's Junkyard, Jawa's Junkyard, Phoenix props.
Yeah.
At Star's End. Oh, come on. God. There's so many. Dennis Lukanoff making sabers out there. You've got Dave Parkin making amazing high-end stuff. I mean, I'd probably put Dave in the upper echelon.
He'd be us there.
All these makers that we're talking about, and there's so many more. So I mean, so we said KR, we said Shadowfoil, SP of the days of past made very good sabers.
Seven Chambers, Veracity Labs.
Seven Chambers, Veracity Labs. That's correct. Adam Sabers had some good clan series. Laredo Sabers has some good clan series and good mall. And so all of these companies, they're probably, it'd be fair to say that they take up tiers 3, 2, and 1 here. But what's important about tiers 3, 2, and 1, your shopping behaviors are going to be the same. You're going to want to step back to that list that we told you as the buyer, what you want, what you're looking for. And one of the questions you could probably interject in there if you've decided that you want a replica is what character you want. Because now you're probably not going to shop the same if you want an Obi-Wan Kenobi episode 4 or Phantom Menace. You're going to tailor those shops because one, not all of them are going to make one. 2, they don't all have the same strengths. Some are much better at doing things than others. I'll give you a good example. We talked about this today. At Star's End can design some very good lightsabers. Typically, the install part of those lightsabers can be a little bit of a challenge. Now, they're definitely installable. Crew guy Rob, great installer, did his salt shaker, right? And it's great. I think he's one of 2 or 3 people that I've seen with it installed. Very good job. And then on the other end, you take Cal, and Cal says, look, I can make very, very accurate lightsabers. And you look at the Ahsoka's and you look at his KR, Kylo. I mean, you look at just almost all of the Sabine, like look at the stuff that he's done. It's just really amazing in tight lines and tight tolerances. And then, he says, well, I'm going to make a Luke and I'm going to make an Eco Luke Hero. And the reason is I want this to be really functional and I want it to be really easy to use and easy for installers. And it might save a couple bucks here and there because I'm going to make some things simpler. I'm not going to try to go all out on it. So depending on what lightsaber you want, and then those things that we told you to be responsible for to begin with, that might help you choose the Eco Hero. Like you might say, you know what, I want something to install myself, but I want a Luke. I also want it to be really functional. There you go. That's your lightsaber. But at the same time, you might say, well, I want something that's static, that doesn't move, but I want it to be a Luke Hero and I want a vintage reveal board. Well, now you're talking about Dave Parkin, and it's like that easy. And so the community can help you when you've done your own homework and you've done that and you know where you're going. And the way that they're going to help you is they're going to help you first. If you're looking for more specific, direct, highly accurate, highly sought after stuff, very small runs, not mass produced stuff, they're going to help you skip over that. That way you don't get confused and think that this LGT or TXQ Kenobi that's selling for $900 on Etsy, you don't think that that's some really high-end lightsaber. Because people can make you believe anything with a quick AI video and then a bunch of fake reviews. So
Amen.
When you do your own... Yeah.
Shout out to AI Martin Luther King. You know what I'm talking about?
That was so bad. That was really bad. And I mean, this is probably, guys, I hope you appreciate this. This is probably the most open that we've been in terms of like just calling it as it is and what it's like. And I think there are places in the hobby for all of these shops. There are places.
Agreed.
But do I want to see you pay $700 for an LGT lightsaber? No, I'd rather see you pay $700 for a shadow foil or a Romans prop, something from KR, and go get yourself a nice install put on it with a lot of really, good fonts that you can go get in a really beautiful Quantum or KR V3.5 blade. You can get that for that price, right? You shouldn't be paying LGT that because it's not a well thought out saber. They're not put together the same. They're not made with the same overall machining quality and attention to detail for all the small little pieces. So it's not going to be as accurate. It's not going to hold up as long. And at the end of the day, you're going to try to resell it at one point. Maybe if you want to move it on from your collection, you'll realize you paid $700 for it, but someone else in the community is only going to pay $100. We've all been there.
Wait a minute. How did this happen? We're smarter than this.
We've all fallen for this stuff, right? We all bought a saber that we paid too much for, or one that didn't meet our expectations because we watched that YouTube ad or we watched that Facebook ad, and it was like, oh, look at that Mark Hamill looking guy swing that lightsaber and kill all those shadow troopers. And then we buy it and we get it, and it's like you paid $700 for it, and then your buddy comes along and says, oh, I got this other one for $450, and look at it, and you're like, wow. Why is there like twice the quality and twice the difference, and I pay twice as much and mine's half as good? What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair assessment of everything so far, to be honest with you. I mean, you really do get what you pay for, but it's just finding out how to spend that money. It's that's like correct. The most important thing, and it's if you do want to get into this hobby, you do want to join r/red lightsabers. If you have Discord or if you have Reddit, you want to be on the Reddit. You want to go on Facebook, try to join some groups, talk to some people. Some people will be very helpful. I would say majority of the people in the community are very helpful, to be honest with you. And you want to talk to these people because you might end up like you said, like we've all. Luckily, I didn't get too bad into the LGT TXQ like reseller thing in my beginnings. Luckily, I met people like you and other people really fast.
Thanks.
But I mean, going on any of those websites, those flashy blade splitting, you got pretty girls spinning a blade, and you're like, oh my god, I want to buy there. Yeah, you're gonna get taken advantage of. I mean,
Yeah.
even some of the more reputable resellers, in my opinion, they're still charging a premium, and you can do better for yourself, in my opinion. And people in the community will take care of you.
Agree. So thanks for listening, guys. I mean, again, we wanted to bring this because I thought a shortened version would be helpful, because I know as we share our videos and people go to click on it and they look and say, oh, 45 minutes, man, I don't have time for that. So hopefully this helps out, and nice little short and sweet, but there's always more details. We're always going to leave something out. We're always going to include something that we might have misspoke about. But I promise you our intentions are not ill in any way, but there are also some things that are not as productive or as beneficial to us as collectors within the hobby. And I think we want to point that out. So if you have questions, hit us up. If you have criticisms or comments or corrections, also hit us up. We are not going to tell you that we're always right and that we're absolute experts in everything, because we're not. But this is what we've learned. We hope that you can learn from it too. And we appreciate your time.
Thank you.